So what does it take to absolutely crush it in the real estate business? And maybe, I don't know what your goals are, and who the hell am I to tell you what your goals should be for your life? Only you can define that. But whatever your goals are, you want to succeed at them, right? We're all here for a reason. The entrepreneurs, our only problem is obscurity. Not enough people know who the hell you are and what you do for a living. The more that you're able to accomplish that, the more business that you're gonna do. We gotta quit being secret agents out there, right? We got to overcome obscurity. We're gonna talk a lot about that. One of my favorite Jim Rohn quotes, and this is really what I live my life by and operate my life by every single day, is this quote: "We must all suffer one of two pains, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. The difference is discipline weighs ounces while regret weighs tons." Right? So we've got to go out there and do those difficult things every single day that nobody else is willing to do, so then that we can have a life of fulfillment. We've got to fully commit. And if you haven't committed, right now draw that line in the sand and make today that day. There is no perfect timing. Commitment is, I'm gonna do the work regardless of how I feel, right? Oh man, I'm having a bad day, I got a headache, I don't wanna pick up and dial these 20 expireds right now. I'll make up for that tomorrow. That's interested. You're not committed to your business, you're not committed to your growth, you're just interested. You only do it when it feels like it serves you, right? When you're committed, you do the work regardless. You don't care how you feel, you put your emotions, make your emotions take a back seat, and you do the work. Like I get up every single morning at 3 a.m. and I go to the gym. I hate it. Every single day, I absolutely hate it, but I'm committed to it. And I have this internal conversation every morning when I wake up, when my alarm's going off, is, Josh, you can either lay your head on this pillow and dream, or you can get your ass out of bed and go deliver your dreams into a reality, but you can't have both, right? So I have to then commit, get out and do those things that are difficult that I don't want to do, but you've got to fully commit. Here's the dope thing about this, is once you're fully committed, you have no competition. I'm working 12-hour shifts, having in-depth, long conversations with people on their deathbed. And I wasn't a family member, I wasn't a great friend of theirs, right? So they were open and honest with me. And I did that, had that job for 2 years, and again, I didn't connect the dots until after I hit my low moment. But while I was going through that experience, I realized every conversation that I had with the hundreds, if not thousands of patients was just this massive shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? You could just see the pain in their eyes. Like, oh, I wish I would have married a different person, or I wish I would have went after that dream job, or I wish I would have traveled more, I wish I would have been a better husband or wife or father, or whatever it was, this massive shoulda, woulda, coulda list. Not one person ever was like, Josh, life was amazing, life was epic, I'm ready for the next journey, whatever that may look like. So then I realized at that point, because now I'm on my journey to go after fulfillment, I realized that our ultimate scoreboard, we are all going to have this conversation with ourselves internally when we're on our deathbed, right? Which is gonna be, what do we do with this gift called life that we've been blessed with? Do we piss it away, or do we go out there and create something amazing with it? And maybe I don't hit my dreams, goals, and visions, but I wanna know I got in the field, I played ball, I gave it my all, and operated at my full potential. So I knew at that point that in order for me to be successful at overcoming depression, that conversation could only go one way for me, right? So, and just getting very, very intentional about that. So you can choose to have it all, but you must choose to live every aspect of your life intentionally. People today spend more time designing their damn grocery list than they ever do their life plan. People have no idea what they want in this life, right? So no wonder we skate through, we're 84 years old, we're on our deathbed, and we're like, oh crap. We wake up at that moment, but the cool thing is we can choose to wake up right now. The number one asset in the world is your time. Or they'll ask like, Josh, dude, like, how do you stay so pumped up, motivated? You've been grinding 11 years, you work 100-hour work weeks, like, how do you not get burnt out? Like, getting burnt out's a choice. If you're getting burnt out, it's because you've lost sight of your purpose, or you don't have a purpose and your goals are too small, period. Right now, 596 months left if I'm blessed to live to the average age of the average human being. Only 596. So I'll talk to people all the time and I'll be like, dude, do you honor your life more than money? And they're always like, oh yeah. I'm like, you're full of shit. Right? I'm like, you pay attention to your P&L statements. If you had $596 in your bank account, you'd be watching where every single penny went out there. I'm like, but you're not paying attention to your life, so you're full of crap. Right? So if you have $596 left in your bank account, you're probably gonna watch where every dollar went. So we gotta be intentional. I mean, what are we in April of 2016 already? Like, these months just fly, right? We have enough time to do whatever we want to do in our life and our businesses, but we got to get very intentional about how we're going to choose that time. So I always look at this and I readjust this every single month, and I have this number everywhere. Every decision I make all throughout the day, it's, hey, is this activity I'm doing, is that going to make that conversation go the way that I want? Because I only have 596 months left of it. The scary thing is most people sleep 8 hours a night. Right? So they piss away a third of that on sleep. One of my favorite Arnold Schwarzenegger videos that's on YouTube. He's got a motivational video out there and talks about becoming successful, becoming a millionaire. And he goes, people say they need 8 hours of sleep. He goes, no, you only need 6. Just learn to sleep faster. Right? So with that, but pay attention to that. Always ask yourself, hey, this conversation is going to exist. I'm going to have this conversation. I got 596 months left to go out there and create the life that I know I'm capable of creating, of operating at my full potential and getting hardcore and intentional about that. So then the question becomes, what must happen between now and 596 months so that when I die, I do not die of that heavy-hearted regret, right? You can die, you got the 2 choices of pain, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. There is no in between. Right? So we got to make those decisions and get hardcore with this. So the GSD mode model, the get shit done mode model, this is what's helped me, you guys, walk through and lose the 118 pounds. This is what's helped me grow every single one of my businesses. I operate 4 businesses today. This is what has helped my marriage go from, I got to a point where I was neglecting my marriage and it started going very, very bad to going out there and creating an epic marriage, epic relationship with my kids. This applies to every aspect of life. I don't care what it is. So number 1 though, you got to get clarity on what is the outcome that you want. And I do this for every aspect of my life that's important to me. Success, the definition of success, at least how I define it, is just operating at your full potential in every aspect of your life that's important to you. So I look, okay, what's the outcome that I want with my business? And I get hardcore clarity on that. And only one outcome. There's only, you don't have people who come to me, agents come to me and say, hey Josh, I got these 6 priorities that I want to accomplish in 2016. I'm like, well, that's probably why you want to accomplish any of them. Right? Not to be a jerk, but I'm like, what's the one thing? If you could accomplish one thing in 2016 in your business, like what is the one thing that you would consider to be an amazing epic year? That would solve all your problems and eliminate all your pains? What would that be, right? Get clarity on that. So when I talk to most entrepreneurs, I'm like, why did you get into this business? Or whatever business it may be. And usually it's freedom of schedule. I'm like, yeah, that will exist. You at some point you'll have that freedom, but it's gonna take years of sacrifice to get that freedom. You've got to put in the hours, you got to put in the work. What I love about this business though, there's no reason you have to ever miss a kid's event. Right? You can be there, you can have freedom of location. 24/7 doesn't mean that you're working 24/7. 24/7 just means, hey, when that lead comes in, I pull up my cell phone and I jump on it. Right? That's 24/7. You just be ready for those opportunities and you jump on those opportunities the second that they come in. But you've got to go out there and be willing to outwork everybody. There's no secrets in this business, right? It's he or she that you have to follow the roadmap, but then whoever works the hardest, whoever out hustles everybody else is going to go out there and crush it. But one of the dudes asked me, like, dude, what's the secret? He goes, man, I just outwork everybody. I just work my ass off and I outwork everybody in my marketplace. And that really becomes the secret, right? So we must be willing to do what others are not so then that you can live the lives like others can't live. Like if you want this amazing epic life, or you want this amazing business, and if you're committed to it, you gotta be willing to put in the work. Your average real estate agent would make more money today working at McDonald's full time than they do in the real estate business. They make under $35,000 a year, right? So do you want average? You gotta ask yourself that. If I'm gonna do the average, what average does, if I'm gonna work 40 hours a week, which I don't know what the hell that even means, I'm gonna get the average result that everybody else is getting, right? So Shane, these are some scary stats. Only 2% of Americans today can retire at the age of 65 without being reliant on their kids to take care of them. So I don't know about you guys, but I've got 3 little kids, and I could never live with myself if I had to have my kids take care of me later in life, and then maybe to the point where they couldn't send their kids, my grandkids, to college because now I became a liability to them. Like, I'm not willing to do that, but I will get that. That's exactly what will happen if I do what everybody else is doing, if I do what average does. 80% of Americans are overweight, over 40% are obese. 76% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, meaning they lose their job now. They're now reliant on government aid. Like, you don't want to be average. If you do nothing else but just do the opposite of what everybody else says in your marketplace, you'll go out there and you'll succeed. So never sacrifice what you want most for what you want in the moment. And one of the hardest lessons I've had to learn in business is to not listen to my emotions. Right? Because we always have that little internal talk, that little voice. That's your voice of mediocrity, right? That's society, that domestication that you went through. I mean, it's not you talking, because if you were talking, who's listening, right? So it's choosing to not listen to that. Always getting clarity on what I want and never sacrificing what I want most for what I want in the moment. If I get hungry, if I'm starving, yeah, dude, I might want the cheeseburger and the chips and salsa, right? I mean, that may be what I want, but I can't give into that. I got to stay focused on what I want most. But the only way I found to do this, because I think willpower is just a bunch of crap. Like, we all have a certain amount of willpower to like noon. Right? Like I'm not eating ice cream at breakfast. I'm eating at 8 o'clock at night, right? So our willpower diminishes very quickly. So I just set up my environment with constant reminders, so I'm always making the right decisions. Now, do I still make bad decisions? Yeah, sure, we all do, right? But I make a hell of a lot less bad decisions or errors in judgment today than I did 10 years ago, 5 years ago. It's just about getting a little bit better each and every single day. Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you. One, two, three. Got it. Perfect.
Sir, that was awesome.
Enjoy it? It's good? Yeah.